After watching the process of manufacturing motors in China, I finally understand why everyone is saying that China is the future heart of the semiconductor industry. Everyone is not wrong at all, it is just a one-way brush movie. In China, it is necessary to use the technology of self-registration to analyze the visual parameters of the motor, and Shigoni will fight Europe, America, Japan, and South Korea. Here is a large motor factory in Foshan, made. The first step of the motor is to openly insert Zhouxing into the drill reminder, and then start the night pressure device, and the spindle will start pressurizing from top to bottom. Please deceive Zhouxing. It will be fixed to the body shape. With the completion of the installation of the drill block, the drill installation began to be installed below, which can protect the 7-envelope wire and avoid it during operation. Add the short circuit phenomenon at the end, and now start to install the drill commutation. Just press down, and the two will work hard to fit into one, and then continue to transmit forward. Start installing the orange round paper. Seeing this, everyone may have no matter what, obviously the western line will return to the orange circle. Why do you have to insert orange round paper with an iron heart? Because it is difficult to earn money. Once there is a mold period of the envelope will be short, so this is an important part of the motor field, and the next step to make the drill around is to be cruel. The all-pass thermal conductivity and mechanical properties are very good, but there are still some small factories that use the same alloy instead of the traditional one to reduce the cost of materials. As a direct consequence, it won't take long for the appliances you bought back to take refuge in. Otherwise, it is too much to dissipate heat, which also reflects what is a point of fire before the shelf, and the outside of the drill in a blink of an eye. Now start to carry out the non-destructibility test, and check whether the energized value of the earner is normal. But once all the testing is done, let's get in. According to the central axis type snap ring, the dead match can effectively warn the body shape to avoid the problem of shaking, and then melt its envelope to the end of the fantasy device. Take it out and put it on the testing table, and move the detection switch. Here is mainly to detect the number of electrical groups, and through the screen, the specific value will be generated, and how each drill needs to be. Only when all the drills meet the standards, will they come to the famous link. Here is the famous Drill D7 Bureau member to deal with public welfare. The public will be the drill first. Inserted into the 7th episode. Then it will fall into the distant and continuous period of despair. It is especially effective in deflecting to the risk of foot circumference. In this way, the surface of the vision is formed to form a perfect aid to the hidden treasure. The first few smooth secrets. It can effectively improve the thermal conductivity and affinity of difficult environmental agents. Now come to the famous hole balance link, first through the sensor 1 to detect the balance and visit. If there is no balance, the final mark will be marked between 180 degrees of the field, and then the specified position will be corrected. When the correction is completed, a final test will be performed. In order to observe the specific residuals obtained by the adjustment of the volume, the main purpose of the sound is to reduce the cause of vibration. If your washing machine is moving together, it will produce a large cause. That is, the drill is very serious. Let's come to the rain section to make the stator. The one who does not change his name is called a stator. Hand fresh around the stator to install plastic spool pieces. Then put it on the conveyor belt to fix it, and then transport it forward, and then the east winding switch. The cell line will be produced at high speed, and the rotation speed will be more than the combined force. With the traditional check-around of the true scripture white sound, the stator in front of the foot is also made and formed. In order to make the overall look more standard, it is also necessary to use a baby for a paragraph. At this time, it looks more neat, and then put more than the same scene medicine, and then enter the next link. Install the electrical line. The workers first took out 20 million thousand. In order to avoid short circuits in operation, the bureau will also be installed at the same county connection point, just like that. It is no wonder that the quality of domestic batteries is getting better and better than before. After the stator winding family is fixed, the next step is to enter the test link. First of all, the stator government and fixed to the testing platform. The stator parameters can then be printed. When all the tests have been completed, the workers will place them in a metal rack and set them aside for a short period of storage. Next, enter the loading and wearing link and take out the drill rack. Install the oldman to the shaft of the drill, and then take out a label, stick it to the stator for an intimate strategy, and then enter the whole assembly process, and a hand first stuff the drill into the positioning. Then the bicycle is mounted under the stator to one end and forwarded again. At this time a metal ROS is taken out for the person to force the engine at 4 points on both sides. Next, he began to pretend to be trapped, took out the metal and put the power cord in it, and now clicked on the cooling fan. The roll of this fan is quite large, and if there is a lack of fan, the motor will be shortened directly. With the installation of the shaft ring, the man also has to use the pendant to load the gun in the motor brain. So far, one motor after another motor transformation program. But in order to improve the use of the product show secret, the person also has to make a final test before the venue. With the government and the installation of the reason. The video plate, the motor rotates in the high family, too. Let's take a look at the details. When the worker plugged the power into the transcript, the drill emitted a noticeable spark. Then, the workers check the quality and appearance of the motor, mainly observe whether there are defects on the outside, and then take out the equipment. When a complete motor is here, it is made into shape. This type of motor is generally used in industrial or domestic applications, such as small broilers. One is the whole process of domestic motor manufacturing. How do you feel about such a happy motor?